Hello and welcome to your mobility flow practice for today. Today's practice will be mostly down on the ground and working lots into our hips, a little bit into our shoulders and neck as well, just to make sure that we got a overall complete body balance. For today's practice, you may want to have on hand some kind of a strap, or if you don't have a strap, some kind of towel or something, a tea towel just wrapped up like that will work as well. And you may also want to have a block or a bolster such as I'm sitting on here. At any rate, let's get started. Find your way onto your mat, find all your stuff, and enjoy your practice. So as you come to your seat, whatever that looks like for you, you could even be lying down if you want, but ultimately we're going to be seated. Find a nice sense of rooting, a sense of tallness, relaxed as well. Take a nice big inhale and a long exhale, and just settle in, close your eyes, and feel that gentle rhythm, the gentle feeling of your breath rising and falling. Allowing your mind to settle more into an awareness of your body and your breath, and less so the busyness of our minds and the plans of the day. Instead, feel into the sensations of your body and your breath. And from that place, taking stock, kind of noticing what's going on for you today. What's going on inside the body, in the mind, the heart, just noticing without any kind of judgment. And working with that today throughout your practice, working in a way that honors and respects what's going on for you and what it is you need. We'll take a single shared breath from here to mark the start of our practice, a nice big full inhale. And a long, delicious exhale, sigh. And welcome once again to your mobility/yoga practice. On your inhale, open your eyes, reach your arms up, take a nice big full inhale. And exhale, bring your hands down onto your knees. Let's just wake up all the joints of our body, roll your neck gently. Keyword gently, in a circle in one direction. Just to kind of sense into what's going on in your neck. And the other direction a few times. What's going on? How's it going for you today? And then pause in the middle and roll your shoulders back a couple times. Roll your shoulders forwards a couple times. Rotate your spine a couple times. Really gentle, little easeful movements. Noticing whatever's arising. Let's wake up our wrists here. So bring your hands up, interlace your fingers, roll your wrists a few times one way and the other way. Give them a shake. And also let's move into our pelvis a little bit, moving one direction and the other direction. Today's practice will be a lot of stuff into our hips, but also balanced out with some shoulder and neck and spine work. So just make sure you get a full-bodied practice. Hands on your knees. Take an inhale, lift your heart, look up. As you exhale, round back, tuck your chin. Feel the back of your spine opening up a little bit. Inhale, send your heart forwards, lift your heart, look up. Exhale and round back. And again, inhale, look up, and exhale, round back. Come back to neutral, inhale both hands up overhead. And on your exhale, bring your right hand down and press into the floor or whatever you've got there and reach up and over, find a little bit of an extension through the left side of your body. And then inhale, come on up. Do the same thing on the other side. Root that left hand down, reach up, and over we go. Find that extension through the right side of your torso. Yeah, nice. gently woken up, hopefully from there, a little bit of movement. And then inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Take anything that's in the way and move it out the way. And lie down. So we're going to start on our backs. Lying down. And that's your practice. No, we're not done yet. Draw your knees up towards your chest and start to take your hips into a little bit of a circle. So I'm pulling my knees up the midline, out wide and around. So a few hip circles one direction and a few hip circles the other direction. Plant your feet on the mat and flip-flop your knees side to side, like windshield wipers, side to side a few times. Nice. And then pause and extend your right arm overhead. Roll over onto your right hand side. And maybe you prop your head with your hand, or maybe you just lie there. You can tell I still got a little bit of a cold. Sorry about that. And we're going to focus here on our left leg at this point. So a little bit of rotation of our hip socket. Bring your knee up nice and high. And then drop your knee down towards the floor. Bring it up towards the ceiling. Let your knee drop down, extend through the front of your leg, and then extend your leg out nice and long. We'll do that a few times. So the knee comes up, drops towards the floor, lifts towards the ceiling, comes back through to neutral, and then knee away from you, and then foot extends nice and long. One more time. Up, down, up nice and high, heel to bum, knee away from you, and then extend it out nice and long. Now let's add in a little bit of mobility practice here. So knee up, nice and strong here. Maybe you'll draw your knee up towards your torso, nice and strong, and try to push your knee into your hand, and as you're pulling with your hand, so you start to create a muscular activation through the hips here and through this activity. So pushing knee into hand. Now here's the key point. Without letting your leg move, release your hand and hold it there for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Beautiful. Soften a little bit. Start to press your knee down towards the ground. So internally rotating your hip. And again, press your knee into your hand. So you're trying to lift your knee up and your hand's trying to push it down. Create a sense of resistance there. Internal rotation of your hip. And then keep the knee where it is and hold it there for 1, 2, told you we're going to work your hips, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Bring your knee up nice and high. So externally rotating your hip socket. We're trying to pull our knee up higher and our knee is trying to push back down. So create a sense of resistance there. You might notice your core firing up as well. And once you've got that sense of activation, keep your leg there when you remove your hand for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your knee back down. Hold on to your foot here. Now, if you can't grab your foot, this is where a strap or the tea towel might be useful. So wrapping it around your ankle. Keep your heel towards your bum and try to drive your knee away from you, nice and far. You'll feel an extension through the front of that left hip here, is what we're trying to do. Now, you're pressing your foot into your hand, but your hand is pulling towards you. And then at some point, we're going to release our hand, and hopefully our foot doesn't go too far away from us, and hold it there for 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, that's hard, 5, great. Extend your leg nice and long, toes back towards you, and lift your leg up. 1, straight up to the ceiling. 2, so the inner leg line. 3, 4, and 5, nice. Bring your knee back down, roll onto your back, and just notice difference in sensation from one side to the other. Extend your left arm nice and long, and then roll onto your left hip, knees a little bit bent.
And goodness gracious, we're going to do it again on this side. So I'm propping my head up. Maybe you keep your head down. Maybe you place your head on a pillow or something like that. So we'll just go through that basic movement pattern just to wake up your right hip socket. Bring your knee up, then let your knee drop towards the floor. Then let your knee go up towards the ceiling. And then bring your knee back down to neutral and let your knee extend away from you. And then send your leg nice and long. So again, knee up to your chest, knee towards the floor, leg bent, knee towards the ceiling, bum to heel, knee away from you. Extend your leg nice and long. Again, up, down towards the floor, up towards the ceiling, knee away from you, leg nice and long. Now let's visit each of those locations, finding a bit of resistance. So draw your knee up. You're pulling your knee towards you with your right hand, and you're pressing into your hand with your knee. So you're pressing away from you as you're pulling. And once you've got this sense of activation through your hip, you release your hand to sustain this place for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Let your knee drop towards the ground, so we're internally rotating your right hip. You can try to press your knee, towards the ground, but your knee presses up against that. So you create a end range activation is what we're up to, teaching our body that this is okay. And then sustain that position for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice my foot's quite active. Bring your knee up nice and high. So we're trying to pull our knee more open, but the knee is pressing into your hand. So there's this opposition of forces between your hand and your knee. And once you feel the activation of the hip, probably outer hip flexors here, sustain the shape without having your hand there for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your knee back to neutral. Grab your foot or use a strap. Start to take your knee away from you and drawing your heel towards your bum. Find that place where you can fire up all the muscles. And then, as you release your foot, don't let it wing away from you too far. Try to keep your knee away from you, heel towards your bum for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Extend your leg nice and long, and 5 times lifting up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice. Bring your knee back in. Roll again onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Take your knees for a little bit of a spin. Hopefully I didn't make you suffer too much. Suffering is purely an optional aspect of the practice. Good. And now settling in here, walk your feet in and so you can just about touch your heels with your fingertips and take your right ankle on top of your left knee. And interlace your fingers across your belly. Take your hands out of the equation here. Walk your left foot in towards you. Lift your left foot from the ground and have your left leg bent about 90 degrees. Begin to press your knee, your left knee, into your ankle. And press your right knee away from you without using your hands here. Just notice where you get to. And then start to add in some assistance. Let your left hand pull your left leg closer. Right hand push your right knee away from you a bit further. Engage all the muscles to sustain this shape so that when you release your hands, your legs don't move for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And release one leg, the other leg down. Flip-flop your legs side to side. So we're going to make your hips strong. And from strength, you'll find that you have more mobility, stability, flexibility. It's all good, shall we say. Oh, I don't like that phrase, it's all good. But it's all good, really. From this place, walk your right foot in towards you, left ankle on top of your right knee. Lift your right foot from the ground. Drive your right knee towards you, your left knee away from you. Just notice where you get to. Nice and strong here. And then use your right hand to pull your right leg a little bit more towards you, your left hand to push your left knee a little way away from you. Finding the end range of motion, and then really engage muscularly so that when you release your hands, your legs don't move for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release your feet down. Give yourself a shiggle and a shake. Get rid of any tension in your legs. Bridge pose. Variation of bridge pose. Again, we'll take your hands and just place them across your chest, your abdomen. Walk your feet in. Lift your bum a little bit off the mat, just a little bit. And we'll extend your right leg nice and long. I like to draw my toes back towards you. Your knees more or less in line with one another. And then as you inhale, lift your bum up nice and high. And then exhale, let your bum just about come to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. I'm feeling that in my hamstrings and my glutes. Inhale up. This time linger here. Maybe you bring that leg higher up. Draw your toes back towards you and sustain this for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bum down. Soften a little bit. Give it a bit of a shake. And take the other side. Root into or press down your right foot. Extend your left foot. Lift your bum a little bit. Toes back towards you. And then inhale, bum up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then inhale up and linger. Maybe your leg goes straighter up towards the ceiling, nice and strong through both legs, glutes, everything nice and active here. And then slowly everything unwinds. And we can take those legs for another little bit of a spin. From this place, draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice firm squeeze. Forehead can come towards your knees, and then start to rock on your spine back and forwards a few times until you come all the way up to a seat. Oh yeah, don't pass out either. Bound angle pose. Here we'll hold on to your shins or your feet. Lift your heart up, knees nice and wide. Pull forwards gently. And then just sort of dangle here. We'll take a little bit more of a passive shape. A bit of pressure between your feet as your knees flop open. Oh yeah. Relax through your face. Slow your breathing down. It's just yoga. Nice. And then slowly, slowly come up. Hold on to your knees. Cross your legs and come forwards onto your hands and knees now into a tabletop position. Let's just move our hips in a nice big circle here. So we're pivoting around the knees one way and the other way. Just massaging our hips after all of that work that we've done. And now we're going to do some more. Take your right foot and place it, boom, between your hands. You may be up on your fingertips here, or maybe your hands are down, or maybe you've got some blocks. Find something that works well for you. Bring your weight slightly forward so you're pressing a little bit more into your right ankle with your torso. And then walk your hands back, let your toes lift. A little bit of a draw of your heel back towards you. Come forwards, offer a little compression. There's an extension through the front of the left leg as well. Walk back, feel that lengthening through the back of the right leg. Let's linger here. So come forwards, offer a nice strong compression into that right ankle, so getting your knee well beyond your ankle. Fire up the muscles from the back of the leg, the calf, the thigh. That's it. Nice and strong activation there. Even across the glutes of the left leg could be active here too. And then slowly walk your hands back, heel toes lift. Start to almost pulling your heel back towards you. All of the muscles of your right leg nice and engaged. And maybe you're folding on top of that right leg nice and strong. Really engage those muscles. We're trying to create strength at the end range of our motion here. And then slowly come forwards, and we'll just step your left foot forwards and your right foot back. Drop your right knee down and do the same thing again. Come forwards and compress that left ankle. Walk back. Extend through the back of the left leg. A few times forwards. Compress. Back. Extend. And then to hang out for a bit, come forwards, compress. Here you may find the front of your right hip nice and strong. It's almost like you're trying to draw your right knee forwards, as well as compressing into the ankle, as well as engaging the muscles of your left glute. So lots going on here. Make it nice and strong. That's the essence of the mobility practice, is to meet stretch with strength and sustain that as best you can. Walk your hands back, toes lift. Half monkey pose, this is called Ardha Hanumanasana. Finding the engagement through your leg, maybe you're folding forwards a bit. Trying to build some resiliency in our body. And then again, come forwards, step your left leg back, left knee down, and this time we'll walk your right foot off to the side and bring your right hand inside your right foot. A lizard lunge, this is called. And take your left hand maybe off the mat a little bit. Take your right hand to your inner knee here and start to press your knee away from you, rolling onto the outer edge of that right foot. And now what we want to do, so we sort of were in this position earlier on our backs. You want to press your knee into your hand as well as to press your hand into your knee. So opposition of forces, and then engage muscularly there and sustain that position that you've created. So sustain this for a few seconds more. Nice. And then bring your foot flat. Walk your hands back in. The foot can come in a little bit. Place one hand, the other hand onto your knees. Sink in here. Just find this good sense of extension through the front of that left hip. And now a little bit more challenging movement for your spine. Take your left hand, hold your outer right knee. Take your right hand to your low back, and then get really proud through your heart and twist to the right. You're trying to bring your knee again across the body, but your knee is resisting. Your spine nice and tall. A kneeling, twisting lunge. Nice. And then slowly unwind. Plant your hands down, and we'll switch sides. So left foot forward to the edge of the mat. Right leg back, left hand inside your left foot. Take your right hand off the mat somewhere. Turn your hand away from you a little bit. And then left hand to your inner knee. Press your knee away, your toes, big toe lifts. And create a bit of pressure between your knee and your hand and your knee. That opposition of forces again. And as you establish that, Release your hand without losing the activation. Quite juicy, isn't it? Oh yeah. And then slowly, slowly unwind. Your foot might come in a bit, hand in a bit. One hand, the other hand onto your knee. Feel that scissoring action of your hips. So left hip back, right hip slightly forwards. Right hand outside your left knee. Left hand to your low back. And then we're trying to pull our knee across the body, but resisting that as we twist our spine. Nice and proud through your heart. Nice tall through the top of your head. So neck is not flopping one way or the other. Oh yeah. And then again, slowly unwind. Plant your hands. Take your left leg back. Take your knees a bit wider. And back we go to child's pose. So child's pose, we want our head down on the ground and heels towards the bum. Now if your head doesn't quite get to the ground, keep your bum up higher and just place your head down on the mat. Find a variation that works for you and just settle in here. A little bit of movement might be nice, might juice up those hips a little bit. Find a nice easy cadence to your breath. And then we'll come forwards and just sort of slowly lie down on the mat. Take your fingertips off the edge of the mat, elbows to the ceiling, and press your pelvic bone down. Inhale up into cobra here. Now for me, my pelvis is coming forwards, my bum is squeezing, chest forwards, so nice and proud through the heart. Take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, look over your right shoulder and stay there. Find that gentle twist of your spine and your neck. Inhale, center. Exhale, look left. Oh yeah. Again, inhale, center. Exhale, right. Waking up our neck a little bit. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Good. Come back to center. Overlap your hands. Flare your elbows out wide. Place your forehead on your hands. And now in this position, you can lift your feet from the floor, maybe even bring your knees together, and just flip-flop your legs side to side. This is called fishtail. Just, again, a little bit of a massage for those poor old hips. And extend your legs nice and long. From this place, take your hands beside your body, by your bum, I guess. Palms face the floor. And good old locust pose, here it comes. Inhale, lift your heart, your hands, your feet. We're trying to fly here. Lift up on your inhale and stay there on your exhale. Feel a sense of activation of all the muscles in your back. So as you inhale and come up, engage the muscles on your back, squeeze your legs together. Sustain this shape, strengthening our entire back chain of muscles here. And then slowly come down. Hands by your shoulders. Push to your hands and knees. Take your knees wide again. And slide back again. Child's pose. Head down. And then slowly, slowly, come on up to a seat. You could be sitting on your block or your bolster or just on the floor, whatever works best for you. You got your strap or your tea towel, might be useful here. Let's work on your neck just a little bit here. So the basic movements of your cervical spine, that's your neck here. We'll take, first of all, right ear to right shoulder. Come back to center on the inhale. Left ear to left shoulder, finding extension to the right side. Again, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Lovely. Inhale to center. And exhale, now keep your chin parallel to the ground. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale to center. Look left. Inhale center. Look right. Inhale center. Look left. And then, of course, the final direction. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, chin to chest, shoulders down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Now let's strengthen those different positions. We'll take your strap or your tea towel, whatever it is, and wrap it over top of your left shoulder. And then hold on to that strap or the towel with just your left hand. And pull that left shoulder down and a little bit away from you. Your right hand over on the floor perhaps. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. So side bending through your cervical spine. And if you like, you could take your hand, your right hand, hold your head. And you're trying to do two things. So your hand is trying to pull you into it and your head's trying to resist. So again, this opposition of forces, trying to create strength through that left side of your neck. And then come back through center. Keep the strap where it is. Look to your right, chin parallel to the ground. Again, maybe you hold your head, maybe not. It's kind of challenging. You're trying to take your head, your chin more to the back of the room, but your head's resisting. You're drawing that right shoulder down and away from you, helping with the ability to twist your neck, to look over your shoulder. Very useful in traffic. And then come back through center. Soften that strap. Give yourself a little shiggle, a little shake. And let's take it over to the other side. So strap over your right shoulder. Right hand holds the strap, pulls your shoulder down and away from you. Oh, that's nice. And then left hand on the floor, or we're going to use it on our head here. Drop your left ear to left shoulder. Maybe you try to pull yourself into that a little bit, but resist. Oh yeah. So if you're one of those desk jockeys, this is darn useful for you. Building up neck strength and mobility. Come back through center. Look to the left. Keep your right shoulder drawn back. Maybe use your hand to help to draw your chin more to the left, but resist. And then again, come back through center. Release that strap. Now take the strap or the tea towel. Place it on the back of your head here, strap fairly wide. Look up, and it's almost like you're trying to pull your head up a little bit. So lengthening through the back of your neck, the front of your throat, pulling with the hands, but resisting with your head. And then similarly, chin neutral, look down, and try to lift your head up as you draw your head down with your hands. So create this resistance. Shoulders down as well. And then slowly, slowly release that darn strap and take your neck for a little bit of intuitive movement. Take your shoulders for a bit of a spin. Oh yeah. And then one more seated pose. I'll take both legs out front. And now take your right foot, bring it in beside your knee, and then jump your foot across your left knee. Now you can keep that left leg extended or lean to the left and bring your foot in. Take your left hand, hold your knee from the outside, draw your knee across the body. Take your right hand behind you and get up nice and tall. Pull your knee across your body, draw your belly in. So we're trying to resist with this hand, create a resistance between your knee and your hand. And so much so that when you release your hand, your knee doesn't move away from you. Nice. And then a little counter twist, a little dip over to the left. And then come back through center. Extend your legs out long. Give it a shake. Same thing other side. So your left foot comes in, jumps over top of your right knee. Maybe bring your right foot in beside you. Maybe not. Don't need to. Right hand holds your knee, pulls it across. Notice your belly drawing in a bit. Left hand to your low back, or to the ground, I should say. Lift up tall. Pull that knee across your body. Look to the left. And then fire up all the muscles that sustain the structure of that left leg, so that when you release your hand, your leg's not winging away from you. Creating strength there. And then slowly release. And again, a little counter twist. Come back through to center. And then let's lie down, shall we? You might want to take a block or a bolster at this point. So as you lie down, keep your knees bent. Flip-flop your knees a little bit side to side. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to place something underneath your low back just to get your bum a little bit off the ground. So I'm going to use the block. Take that, and you want to place it fairly far down into your sacrum, more towards your bum. We don't want to get it stuck into your lumbar spine, so lower than the arch of the low body. You can hold the block initially, or maybe you're on the bolster. Lift one leg, the other leg off the ground, and just dangle here. Find a comfortable spot for you. Legs nicely bent. And be a little bit playful here. So maybe one leg extends, the other leg extends. Maybe legs go wide and back together. Maybe just jiggle them, maybe you cross them. Just using this subtle inversion to dissipate the energies in our legs and our hips. Nothing fancy here, just using this as a relaxation. Your head is slightly below your heart. I think apparently we're draining the lymphatic system, at least in the legs and the hips, through gravity. Nice. And then slowly bring your feet down. Take your prop out the way, whatever it was. Let your bum come down to the mat. Take a breath or two there. And then take your feet as wide as the mat. Knees drop together. So this is called constructive rest. We make a little tripod, knees touching. Now start to internally rotate, so drop your right knee towards your left ankle, and then side to side, sort of like independent wipers. One side, the other side. Now let's take your right knee, drop it beside your left ankle, and then just take that left foot and hook the right knee down. Take your right arm way up overhead, find this lovely extension through the side of your body. Breathe slowly, dissipating any kind of resistance you're perceiving through the front of the hip, the side of the hip, the ribs. Yum. And then slowly release. Bring your right arm in. Keep your feet as wide as the mat. Maybe flip-flop your knees. Internal rotation again. And then left knee beside your right ankle. Your right ankle holds the knee down. And then your left arm extends way overhead. And we sink in here. This is called a piriformis stretch, at least that's what I call it. Releasing that piriformis muscle from your outer hip to your low back. your sacrum. Few easy breaths there. And then again, let's unwind and send both legs up to the ceiling, both arms up to the ceiling, and we'll do the good old nervous system reset. Roll your ankles and your wrists, big slow circles, one way and the other way. And then similarly, squeezing your hands into fists and then spreading your fingers, same with your toes, squeeze and spread, and then shake your wrist, shake your ankles, shake it out, and then let your feet drop down, hands drop down, take a nice big inhale, and a long exhale. Savasana. Here's our chance to integrate the effects of our practice, to let everything be received, receiving the gifts of your effort, whatever those gifts might be. Relax your face, forehead, jaw. And from that place, feeling into the area of your heart, a gentle rise and fall of your breath. Developing a sense of gratitude here. Feeling grateful. Feeling grateful for this body of yours, for the ability to do what you just did, for the discipline and focus it took to do the practice. Gratitude to you. Gratitude to yourself. Well done, well done, well done. Take a nice big inhale and a long sigh. And thank you so much, my friends, for sharing your practice along with everyone else today. So good to have you here. Namaste. And you can sustain your resting practice if that suits you. I'll remain online and have any kind of discussion. Savarna, thanks for being here. Good to have you here. Well, that was some work, wasn't it? I'd appreciate any kind of feedback. Wonderful class. Thank you, Liz. As always, just a reminder that the class is supported by your donations and by supporting me and this. Thank you, Patricia. By supporting me and this app, we're supporting those that are perhaps less able to afford to do these practices. Thank you so much, Liz. I really do appreciate that support. Good to have a bit of a challenge. Yeah, well, that's... I try and... thank you, Louisa. I'm trying to ensure that we get I would call it a full body practice. So, yes, yoga has its place, but strength training has its place, mobility training has its place. And the more we can fuse those things together, the more rounded that our practice becomes. Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you, Louisa. So good to have you here. I've lined up classes through January every Tuesday at this time. This month I'm planning to continue this mobility theme, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I'm going to sign up for actually a Qigong class in February and March, and so that'll probably influence my practice, and we may see some Qigong in your future. I've already used a bit of that in some of my past practices, And hopefully you enjoy that as well. Wonderful. So yeah, like I said, it's about having a well-rounded practice. Thanks, Jess. Great to have you here. And of course, I've recorded this class and we'll make it available through other means. So all you have to do is follow the links in my bio and you'll figure it out from there. Any requests, certainly glad to take them and see if I can work them into some of the future offerings. That is if I remember. All right. Thank you so much for your diligence, your hard work, your support. Oh, neck work, wonderful. Take care, everyone. Really great to see you all again, and have a really prosperous, fun, and healthy 2023. Take care.